Hi guys, hope you're doing well. Um, Sorry there was no video last week. I've had a really work heavy couple of weeks. This week isn't looking any better. I've only got one day off, which is today, and I had to take my daughter for a doctor's appointment, so I lost the morning. Um, but before I took her to the doctor, I did another test on one of my toys. So I'd done the dry test on it, the weight test, and I'd soaked it and I was waiting for it to dry. Finally dried because they take ages. Retested it and it passed, so that's really exciting. I also, oh, can you hear that? Sorry, it just thundered. It's Tuesday, by the way. If this doesn't go out today, it's been a beautiful weekend, and then we got forecast thunderstorms today. It was supposed to be Jake's Sports Day tomorrow. They've cancelled it, although that's not a bad thing. I will go into, well, for me it's not a bad thing. I'll go into that. Um, anyway, so the toy pass. Sorry, I got distracted by loud noises. Um, and then I did a dry test on my Dino Bee. Passed the dry test, so that is now waiting to dry so that I can do the washed test. I hope that will make sense. Probably not. But yeah, so and then I am testing my mermaid this afternoon. I was just waiting for some advice about where to put the clamps on it, because there's lots of bits that need testing, and for some reason when I was staring at it this morning I couldn't think of where to put the clamps. But it's all sorted and I know what I'm doing now. But yeah, anyway, so the guy that passed this morning, not this exact one, but was these guys, the little Dumbo octopuses. So, got very excited, obviously. Took Isabella to the doctor, came home. I've just noticed that there's a moth in my house. Oh no, it was a fly. Not that that's much better, but at least it's not going to eat anything. Anyway, came home and I got straight on it, didn't I? I've made 4 little octopus dudes. The reason being, I've got a fair. I got asked to do a fair. I put all my stuff up on Facebook. I've been promoting my dinosaurs. Haven't had a single sale, but I've been quite heavily promoting, because I know that is, one of the most important parts of it, and it is the bit that I always struggle with. So I was like, right, no, let's just post in a load of Facebook groups, Instagram, Etsy, all of it, and just see if anything comes from it. And I got asked to do 2 fairs. One of them was supposed to be this weekend, so I was like, no. And the other one is the 15th of June. And I was like, that is doable. And it spurred me on to actually get my button gear and get, some of these other toys tested. So these guys, they take 20 minutes. Easy. Lovely. Love them. And I've done 4 today. So if I crack out 4 every day until the fair, I'll be absolutely fine. I've made some more dinos. It's still thundering. I'm going to get so distracted. I'm so sorry. I haven't put their faces on yet, because when do I ever actually finish anything? And everybody still needs their tattoos. Oh dear. But 5 dinos. 1, 2, 3, 4. Why does that show 4? Oh, because he's falling down. 5 dinos. So yeah, they just need their faces and their tattoos, but they are done. So that brings me up to 9, I believe. I worked out that I've got about 20 little T-Rexes, but I've made another one. This is the alternate browns to the one I did before that I called my chocolate dinosaur. So he's done. Well, he's he's got all of his parts. I just still got my bag of bits, basically. There's still a couple of bee dinos in there that need doing, now that in theory I know it's going to pass. I don't see it being an issue. There were no problems with the wings whatsoever when it was dry. So anyway, that's done. I actually finished my bees, so I have 3 bees, but I've run out of the yellow. So I need to, at some point, sort myself. So loud. I'm looking for lightning in the middle of the day. Need to actually sort out getting some more and making some more of these guys, because they are actually quite fun to do. And then I made the bits of 4 more cows. So this is the original one that I tested with his little tattoo. I am convinced that I used the same size hook to make the other ones, but I'm starting to think that I have made my tension tighter, because it's come out ever so slightly smaller. I don't know if you can see. That's not the best example, actually. It's more this one, just ever so slightly. But I have also noticed with Flutterby, some of the colours aren't as thick as the other ones. So I don't know, the black tend to be quite thick. The brown is quite thick as well. So I've made, that's brown. I've made that one. All the other bits are in the bag. I'm making a blue one. All of his bits are done. I just need to sew it together. I've sewed this one, just needs its eyes and its tattoo, and I've done this one. So I'm quite pleased with myself, because I sat down and started making this dude on Sunday, I think it was Sunday, at the weekend. Got halfway through it, decided really didn't want to make a cow. Pushed through, finished him, and immediately made 3 more. Because apparently that is what I do now. I've turned myself into a production line. So I'll make one thing and then I will just continue to make it until I'm sick of it. The problem being that I am still not sick of making T-Rexes, and I was really hoping I might be by now, because I think I've run out of colour combinations. But I love them. I just love them. And I love these guys too. These guys take a bit longer. They take about, I don't know, an hour and 15. One thing to sew on, and it annoys the hell out of me. I'm sorry, it's not your fault. You sew up the back and then you sew the tail on. There are other patterns when you crochet the tail directly onto it, but I actually think this is slightly more secure when it comes to the weight testing. So I will stick with this pattern, even if I do have to sew the tail on. Although it's still not as many pieces as the cow, and it's not as many pieces as the T-Rex. This guy takes about an hour and a half because of all the pieces. But I've worked out that if I do all the bits first and then do the main body of anything, it seems to somehow work out better for me. I think because I'm like, I've done the body and I'm like, woohoo, I'm done. And then if I've obviously got all the other little bits and pieces to do, I'm like, oh, I've got all the other little bits and pieces to do still. And then I get disheartened. I don't know why, because you have to sew it all together at the end anyway. But it seems to work in my brain. So yeah, I have had quite a productive week considering everything that has gone on. We had a really not so great week last week. We were on our way to football practice, not last Wednesday but the Wednesday before, and we were coming in the house and Jake was behind me, and we've got 2 steps to our front door, and I opened the front door, and as I opened the front door, I still don't really know what happened, but Jake screamed and I was like, oh my god, have I hit him? What's happened? He'd fallen off the step. Easily done. Didn't really think that much of it because he is very clumsy. He takes after me. He will fall over fresh air. He'll fall over his own feet. You know, it's nothing unusual. But he was like, I don't want to go to football practice. My ankle hurts, which is really, really unlike him. So I was like, oh, well, we've got to go anyway to Tavi because your sister's got tennis. So let's just go see how you feel. She had a hair appointment before tennis. So actually he was hopping around the hairdressers making bit of a song and dance, I thought. Anyway, so she had the hairdresser, we rushed to Tavi, he dropped her off at tennis, and he's going, it still hurts, I don't think I can play football. I was like, right, okay, well, let's just go to training, and then, because we're moving to 9-a-side from 7-a-side, and we're learning the offside rule, I was like, let's go anyway, you don't have to play, you can just listen. He tried to play. I was like, right, okay. Got home, iced it, elevated it, the usual. Thursday, he went to school and they had PE. Friday, his friend came back after school and they were playing football and they were on the trampoline. His friend left and he couldn't put any weight on his ankle at all. So it's like, rest it, elevate it, paracetamol, ibuprofen, the whole 9 yards. Saturday morning, he was supposed to have a football match. Mum, I can't put any weight on my foot at all. Right, okay, let's go to MIU. I'm not going to Derriford. It'll be crazy. We'll go to MIU. We were there from when they opened. So I think they opened, I can't remember what time they opened. I think they opened at 9 or 8:30. We were there before they opened, waiting in the car park. They saw him really, really quickly. Nurse had a little prod on his, the inside of his ankle. That's where all the pain was. He squealed. He had pain over the bone and he had pain where the ligaments are. Their x-ray machine doesn't work. And I was fully in my head under the impression that we were going to go there. They were going to say, it's just a sprain. Don't worry about it. Go home. Keep doing what you're doing. She's like, no, you need to go to Derriford. You need to get it x-rayed. I was like, okay, yay. Because Derriford is just a nightmare at the minute. There's nowhere to park. There's just building work everywhere. And they've moved lots of departments about. So I was like, well, it's fine. We'll go. There's nowhere else to go unless I wanted to go to Launceston. And I'm pretty sure that their x-ray machine isn't open on a Saturday. There was something. So anyway, we went down to Derriford. And actually, we were in and out in 2.5 hours, which is really, really good. We got there and there's only one other person waiting in paediatrics. So they x-rayed his ankle. And there was no doctor. So the nurse, who was wonderful, said, can't rule out a break, so we're going to put you in a boot and you're not allowed to play football for 5 weeks. So Jake cried because his whole world revolves around football. So I really should have known when he said he didn't want to go that he'd really hurt himself. Anyway, she put him in a boot. He was in the boot for a week. And then we had an appointment at the fracture clinic and they said it's definitely not broken. It is just a sprain. Keep the boot on for another week. So he took it off last Friday and he said, ease yourself back into everything and you should be good to play in a week's time. So Jake was absolutely made up. So Saturday, we went to watch his team play. And bless him, he asked his coach if he could play. And his coach was like, no, mate, you need to recover first. He's like, you were in a boot yesterday. He was like, I'm fine. My ankle is fine. Watch me run around the pitch, which he did. Paid for it later. He was like, my ankle hurts a little bit. I was like, oh, I wonder why that is. Sunday, he was off the boot, but I strapped him up. And then back to normal, really. He went to school yesterday. They had a walk, so I strapped him up again, gave him some painkillers. He was supposed to have athletics tonight. In my head, he wasn't going anyway because we were trying to save his ankle for the weekend. He got home, so he didn't want to go anyway. It's like, that's absolutely fine. But he wants to try football training tomorrow, which actually I think would be a very good test. Like I said, sports day is cancelled and I am the only parent that's like, woohoo, because it gives him another couple of weeks to recover because he absolutely loves sports day. And I honestly didn't know whether, sorry, I had a message. I didn't know whether or not he'd be able to take part. He didn't know. He really wanted to. His teacher's going to want him to. But yeah, so that's on my like my part really good and on his part really good, but for a lot of the other kids are really disappointed. But yeah, so he hasn't got sports day, so he's going to try training tomorrow, see how he gets on, and then he has a friendly on Saturday, and then they have a tournament on Sunday, and that's what he's really holding out for. So he'll probably play the friendly, but he probably will only play half of the match. Obviously it'll be completely up to his coaches and what they think is best for him. They might say he can't play. I'd say he's fine now to at least try, but that is not going to be the decision that I make. I manage the team, I don't coach it. I don't do any of the running and sporty bit of it. I just organise the matches. So yeah, we'll see what they say. But yeah, so that was our drama. There's a fly now. I am so distracted today. I'm so sorry. Get off. Go. Oh, I hit it. I don't know where that went. I can hear it's gone. Sorry. I've lost what I was saying. Yeah, so that was our drama last week. Yeah, yay. And then Isabella accidentally kicked a football at his head yesterday and hit him in the ear. I was like, brilliant, yay! Busted ankle and burst eardrum, except for it didn't actually come to anything. I think it was more shock than anything else. But he screamed, and he was at the bottom of the garden, and I was in the house, and I heard him. So once again, run in to try and figure out what on earth had happened, with Isabella refusing to speak because she was upset, because she thought she'd really hurt him, and Jake just screaming and not making any sense until about 10 minutes later, after I'd shoved a packet of peas on his ear. So yeah, it's been good. And then this week, like I said, today's my only day off. I'm doing an extra COVID clinic this week, so I will be stabbing lots of people in the arm and making lots of grown men cry. Hopefully not. I'm actually been told I'm quite gentle, but at the end of the day, it is an injection. That fly is back. Go away. I don't want you near me stuff. And now someone's ringing me. I'll ring back in a minute. But yeah, so that has been my week, because I missed last week. That is not what I want. What do I want? I want that one. So yeah, so I've just got to finish sewing these bits and pieces together, give these guys some faces, sew up their bottoms. I'm not going to do it today. I know I'm not going to do it today. I'm just going to make them and give them their tattoos. This guy is finished. He's complete. That guy just needs the rest of his facial features put on, which I might do tonight, but I probably won't. Let's be honest, it's me. And these are done. I need to photograph the bees, which I was going to do this afternoon, but I will not now as it is wet, which is a shame because I found a nice photo location in the garden for my critters. If you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen that. I am now photographing them in the garden on a table with a lovely little, excuse me, flower bush in the background, which is quite nice. Yeah, so I'm going to wait for my bumblebee dinosaur bee, I don't know what to call it, to dry, and then retest that. And like I said, now that I know, oh, she really wants me, where to put the clamps on my mermaid, I will also test that. I also want to test this little guy once I actually finish him. So yeah, that's the plan. I also want to test the turtle. I'm going to go because this person really, really wants me. But I'll chat to you all guys hopefully next week. Take care. Bye.